Hello, dear Geminis. This is Amber from Symbols for Living. This is your January 2017 love and life reading. Truly apologize for the delay. The Christmas period tends to throw everything out of its works, and then there's New Year's, and then there was the Mercury retrograde, and unfortunately, I go with the flow. That's just me. It's just how I am, and that unfortunately means some things don't get done. I respect the universe and the energies around me, so I'm not one to force a thing. But I do appreciate that I am now on YouTube, so there's certain expectations that there will be. So I do apologize. So yeah, just to go through your reading here. Definitely a focus this month on sentimentalities, or if that's even a word, but quite sentimental this month with the Six of Cups. So, and we've also got here in your hopes and fears the Eight of Cups, and these are the only two cups along with the Four of Cups, which talks so, you know, generally you are not feeling satisfied emotionally with things, especially in your mind, in the way that you are perceiving things to be. You are perceiving that there's not enough of what you want at the moment. Either you're not getting the offers that you want, or the offers that you're getting aren't up to scratch, up to your liking, and so you're deciding to move on. And I think you're hoping that you can move on onto something more positive, or you could be fearing that, depending on how the reading plays out in the end, you could be fearing that you have to move on. So we'll start right from the beginning. So at the centre of the reading, we've got the Six of Pentacles crossed by the Ten of Pentacles. So a focus on money and security here, most definitely. Looking at more long-term security, and also looking for fairness in issues to do with money. So if this is a relationship reading, it could be that there could be, if it's not to do with money, and it is to do with this Six of Cups, which seems to bring, which is the overarching card for the month. It would seem that you are looking to balance things out. You could have recently settled some karma as well, if a relationship has ended, or if you're looking to move on, which there is some indication here of that, with the Seven of Swords as the outcome, and the Ten of Wands as to, you know, feeling quite overwhelmed mentally, in terms of what you think you have to do in the, you know, your day-to-day life. And then also how people see you as quite single. You've got the the Strength card as well, which again, it talks a lot about. And then you've got the Eight of Pentacles. It's a lot of working on things on your own. So there's a chance that maybe you are entering a relationship this month, or have already ended it, possibly, to work on yourself, to make yourself strong again, make yourself independent financially. It could be that a previous relationship that you were in, you know, you had a lot of financial ties, and now you're, you know, looking to balance that out, which is obviously not always easy if you are ending a long-term relationship. Deciding on what belongs, or yeah, what belongs to who, isn't always easy. So there's an element of that going on anyway. It's crossed by the Ten of Pentacles. So it looks like you really do want security, possibly. I think you're willing to give whatever is required to attain that. I think possibly that you're seeing that in order to attain that, you will need to have a more balanced relationship, especially in terms of how you make each other feel. So in terms of security, so you may be looking to, so maybe in the past it was, you know, not a fair relationship, maybe You felt that you gave more to the other in terms of security, money, just being there for that person. And maybe you feel you didn't get that in the past, and now you're now looking to move forward on a more even keel in a relationship, to obtain the more secure relationship that your heart's actually desiring or wanting. So yeah, I mean, you're ultimately not very satisfied with things at the moment. You're not very happy with the offers being brought to you. You may feel like you really want a long-term relationship. You really want something that's going to last this time. And you may just feel like the offers you're getting in at the moment just are not satisfying. They're just not what you want. Might not be offering you as much as you're willing to give at this stage. And you yourself feel now, very much on your own and burdened with everything. You may feel like you're holding on very tightly to the outcome of things with the Ten of Wands. Like, you're holding on tightly to all of these burdens because you want things to go in a particular direction. Like, you're taking full control of the situation. You're not letting anyone else get involved or anyone else help, because you know what you want, although you're carrying this burden on your own. And again, with the Nine of Pentacles, that's how people see you. People do see you as being very self-sufficient, and very successful at that as well. So, if you are maybe looking at the past regretfully, or feeling like you don't have enough, or, starting this new journey towards independence, the struggle is not apparent to anyone else. You look very happy and very comfortable. And in fact, the Strength card here as to how you see yourself. You see yourself as someone who has maybe grown up a lot recently, or in the last few months. You've gained a certain strength. You've learned the lessons with regards to self-control and knowing where maybe the lion within you, or the animal within you, the beast within you, sometimes does need to be curbed, and isn't always useful in getting what you want to get, or getting what you want out of life. That sometimes you have to tame the beast and also show compassion. So you may be being more compassionate towards yourself as well, and even more compassionate to others because of the self-love and self-understanding and awareness that you found now within yourself. You may find that you're more giving, or more stronger, and therefore able to give more. In the past, we've got the Knight of Swords. So, you being a Gemini, this is very much you. I would say that maybe in the past, being the Knight and then seeing where you are as a major arcana, I think that there has been some progress, because we've even got the Knight of Swords, and we've got the 6, 10 and 8. And even though there's the 10 before the 8, I do feel like there is some sort of progression. The numbers are getting higher. You even got the 9, so it's like, all we're missing is the 7 of coins, basically. We'd have a 7, 8, 9, 10 progression. I do see that there is progress. I think there's some sort of maturity that's happened because of this rebalancing. Maybe you taking back your power, maybe after expending a lot of it. And maybe looking back on the past and seeing where your efforts have brought you to today. And maybe even looking back and realizing that, all those cups that you filled, all the effort that you put in actually wasn't in the end satisfying, and it left you carrying a lot of the burdens. And, and even now you realize that in order to have this real security and real long-lasting relationship, it is going to require that you both give and take equally. Could have been the other way around. It could be that Maybe in the past you took a lot. Maybe in the past you were the Knight of Swords and you were quite clever at getting what you want and using your words to twist things, to have things work out in your favor, always winning arguments, even if maybe it's, being able to talk your way out of things basically and talk your way into things. May have left, your partner feeling like they can't win the argument and therefore can't prove their point and therefore are left with whatever you guys were arguing about. That person's left having to do whatever needs to be done. So there could have been that going on as well, quite possibly, because the Knight of Swords isn't really high on morals. He is to an extent, but at the same time, it's like if you know you can get something by talking your way out of it, you may have relied on it a little bit, maybe a little bit too much, possibly. So yeah, moving forward, you seem to have learnt these lessons and now quite focused on the future. It could also, as I said, mean that there's an end of a karmic cycle here because you've got 2 sixes and then you've got the 8 of cups. So, and then you've got the 8 of pentacles as well. So yeah, I do get the feeling that there's been some sort of ending or even a development. It could even not even be an ending. It could be a development in the relationship. It could be that a lot of discussion had been had in the past. Maybe possibly a lot of arguing's been had in the past. And now maybe you're able to see eye to eye. You're able to give and take a lot better, which has brought in a lot of security into your relationship and has made you now be able to look at the future to see what you guys can actually be together. You've weighed up the pros and cons maybe of the relationship and you're looking back as well to help you reach that maybe clarity of your situation. So there's definitely some sort of evaluation, going on with the 6 of Pentacles. And then you've got the 8 of Pentacles in your near future. So if this is pertaining to a relationship, then as an outcome, it looks to be that you are working quite hard on it. You have now decided on what you want to do. There was no sort of dithering, no, you're quite decided, you know what you want. And I think you want the 10 of Pentacles. I think you're willing to work towards it. So whether that be inner work that you have to do, working together on the relationship, whatever it is to balance things out, basically, you're going to do it and you're working on it. And it looks like you are putting in the work for some reason. It looks like you are putting in the work. So, you could be single. You could find yourself single and say, do you know what? I recognize now what I need to do to move myself closer to my soulmate, to my next best partner, to, whatever you're looking for in relationships. So it looks like you've realized that and you're working on it, which is fantastic. It's really, really great. And you're actually paying attention to detail. You're reevaluating with the six of cups to see what actually is worth working on, what is of value right now, what is worth bringing into the future. And you've found that and you've not let go of it and you're working on it, which is great. And you're very strong in doing so with the strength card here as to how you see yourself. So you do feel quite empowered by the turnout of events, however it has played out in your life personally. So yeah, other people see you as being quite confident, self-sufficient, especially when it comes to money. You seem to be in your element. You seem to be, carefree, fancy-free, and just comfortable, basically, just looking after yourself really well, which is great. But they also do see you as being very single. So it's either that your partner sees you as being quite focused on themselves and getting yourself as an individual more secure, maybe so you can offer more to your partner, or offer them the security to take your relationship to that next level of marriage, moving in together, etc. So, but they do see you as achieving that as well. They do see you as achieving that. So they see you as being successful in your pursuits, albeit you doing it on your own for yourself. You're doing it for yourself because you know that that's what you need to do to meet maybe the requirements of the relationship. So it's kind of a two-sided, you know, two sides of the coin kind of thing. It's helping both yourself and the relationship. It could be that the person in your life is also a Virgo. I often relate this card to Virgo, being as there's 9, Virgo falls into the 9th month. She's often seen as a single woman with lots of, you know, a wealth of usually harvests and stuff. So she's rich with food anyway. But this lady, she's rich with money, it looks like, and just general nice living. But yeah, it could be a Virgo in your life. There's a lot of earth energy here. Right at the center of the reading, we've got earth as well. So I am thinking that there is a definitely a strong earthy energy here. So yeah, it could be a Taurus, it could be a Capricorn. But again, even with the Eight of Pentacles here, this does speak to Virgo, that hard-working energy. So look, there could be a Virgo in your life at the moment, in your environment, if you are interested in meeting someone and you are male even. There's a quite independent earth sign in your midst. That seems to be looking in your direction. Also got the Eight of Cups as to your hopes and fears. So as I said before, you could be moving on and choosing to kind of find a higher ground in terms of your relationships and emotions. As we've seen here with the Four of Cups, is to, you know, this is your subconscious or at the root of the issue. I can see here that you're not satisfied anyway. There's something that's not making you happy. You're being offered something, but you just don't see it happening. So, you know, maybe what you've got right now is just not, you know, maybe you're not happy. This is just not what you want. And so you are having to make that hard choice of leaving behind something that maybe you really love or put a lot of effort into. But, you know, you could be fearing this change. But the Eight of Pentacles does say that, you know, you possibly weren't happy. You know, you possibly are not happy or not satisfied. I get more not satisfied, just not getting what you want. You could just not be getting what you want and therefore having to keep moving so that you can actually find what does make you happy. And ultimately, actually, you could be looking for this Ten of Pentacles. You're looking to go from 8 of Cups to 10. Like, you know, you want the whole shebang. You want the full on, you know, wife or husband and kids, dog, everything. You want all of that. So it looks like you're making steps towards that. And as the outcome card, we've got the Seven of Swords. So it could be that you are having to do a lot of research maybe into the new plans that you have. It could be that you're sneaking away possibly towards the end of the month or at some point in this relationship. You could end up just sneaking away, you know, maybe reversing back to the Knight of Swords to cleverly get yourself out of a situation, having to keep your wits about you for some reason, and maybe just to be a bit more clever about how you pursue relationships. Maybe you know, the Knight of Swords isn't all bad. It's very much an asset to be able to talk your way in and out of things and to, you know, do the whole mind over matter thing and get things done. So it's not all bad. I don't see the Seven of Swords as all bad at all. Although generally it's seen as a negative card, it could be quite positive in the sense of if you need to get out of something, you look like you are figuring a way out and you are leaving. You are going. You're taking what you can. You're maybe taking what is yours. and you are, you're not leaving, you're not taking everything, but you are taking what is yours, and you are moving on. That's what it looks like for me, in terms of a love relationship. Because as well, you are quite burdened. You feel like it's all on you. For some reason, you've put yourself under some sort of pressure to get this relationship or to have this long-lasting relationship. You could just not feel satisfied because you feel like you're carrying the whole burden in the relationship, like I said before. You just could feel really heavily burdened, and you could maybe feel a bit cornered, and that's why you're feeling like you have to kind of escape or be cleverer to get out of this, or do research and plan and scheme to get out of it. So yeah, it could be a case of using the Knight of Swords to your advantage to help you get out of the situation. But communication, if you can have a clear and open and honest dialogue with whoever you need to, then that's always the best option. And it will leave things on a much better note for you in terms of moving on. Often leaving things undone means you have to kind of go back at some point and fix it, or it rears up. At some point in the future, you may wish that you'd had done it differently. It's always nice to leave things closed and sealed nicely, rather than kind of all over the place and not really knowing what else might fall out or what else could trip you up in the future. So yeah, I guess that would be a little bit of a warning there. With the if the reading is pertaining to work, then definitely there'll be again some sort of leaving, change of work is going on at some point. You could be, individually in yourself, you're doing okay. You seem to have managed your money very well. You yourself are quite good at restraining yourself from spending too much money. You are not kind of buying on impulse, or spending because of an impulse. You're very well, but at the same time, you're very well balanced. You're not being a Scrooge either in any shape, way, or form, with the Six of Cups here, and the Strength card doesn't talk to being a Scrooge at all. Although I am getting from there that you are able to show strength within yourself and, buy only what you need. And, in terms of what you need, also what makes you happy as well. That's also an important need. So that's where I say you are being fair. So yeah, you could be saving or spending in a way that prepares you for security in the future. So you're only spending if you know you need to, and you're only spending if you know it's going to contribute towards a more secure future. In the past, you could have been someone who didn't really think things through, who kind of just acted on an impulse, most definitely with the Knight of Swords. And, you could be seeing now that might not be, it might have been fun at the time. And, it's great to experience that kind of carefree, spending. But you're looking more towards making a more solid financial foundation for yourself, and that's why you're now working very hard on it with the Eight of Pentacles. Although maybe your job isn't very satisfying at the moment, it may be very hard. You may have a lot of things to do. You may be having to do this job and having to also look about going to interviews and doing other things too. So you could be feeling quite burdened because of that, or you could just be feeling burdened because the work that you do is a lot and it's just giving you a lot to manage, and you feel like there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders in this job, yet it's not really satisfying. It doesn't feed your soul in any way. It doesn't strike your imagination. It doesn't, no, it's just actual physical hard work. But at the same time, yeah. I was going to say that there is passion involved here because the wands, but then couldn't quite leave my lips. So could be that you're passionate about something, very passionate about something, and it just hasn't, you feel like you're just not satisfied, but still doing a lot, still planning a lot, but it's not quite satisfied with things yet. Or maybe you're working so hard because you're not satisfied as well. So it could go both ways. So, I mean, the advice here is, definitely to stay focused on the future, to keep doing what you're doing, managing your money well. With the Ten of Wands, it's always advised to, you just need to, work smarter, most definitely, because you can only do the Ten of Wands for a certain period before you overwhelm yourself. So most definitely look into ways into taking the load off in some way, learning how to relax, learning how to delegate, learning how to even change your perspective so it doesn't even seem to be such a big deal. All of that kind of stuff is definitely advised with Ten of Wands, because you could find yourself burned out. Again, you are moving forward, and for some reason you are looking back quite at things sentimentally. So it could be that you're leaving a job to move on to something, to work, to do something on your own. Yeah, I guess it's just hard saying goodbye. You realize that, okay, yeah, your current job or situation has brought you, some good memories. It's brought you a lot of good times, and you've learned a lot of great lessons, and it's made you very happy in the past. But now that you need to move on and move on to that next level to find, because you've now found out other things about yourself, maybe, or realize other things about yourself in this maturation. Because I think you have matured in some way from the Knight of Wands through to the Strength card, and all these coins that follow the Knight of Swords. This makes me think you have matured in some way, and I think you feel that you might not be consciously aware of it, but definitely subconsciously, you're aware that whatever's happening right now is not satisfying you, it's not feeding you, and so you're moving on to something new. And I think you're hoping that you can move on to something new. I think you're hoping that you can find that next best job. And I think with the Seven of Swords, you're being asked to do a lot of research, and pull out all the stops to achieve that objective, to get that job that you want. You may have to, get clever at interviews. You might need to sharpen your tongue a little bit, so there's charming, persuasive words come out at just the right time in just the right way, and just do research again, ask people, if you know someone that works in the company. I mean, the Seven of Swords is all about secret research. It's almost like a private investigator. So, investigate, research, be that spy, I guess, in a sense, to kind of get the information that you need to be able to enable you to get that job that you want, if that makes sense. So I meant to talk about the oracle cards before, but I didn't, sorry. So the oracle cards that have appeared or have come out of the deck is Serendipity, number 18, and the Yin card. So that's quite interesting, because a lot of the cards here talk more about your own action, your active pursuit of things. And you're very action orientated, especially with the Ten of Wands. So it could be speaking to the Ten of Wands, saying, sometimes all this doing that you're doing to try to achieve something actually might not work. It might not actually get you what you want, and that sometimes what you need to do is actually sit back and wait for things to come to you, or at least be in a state of receiving. So don't forget throughout all of your ambitions that, and also the Six of Coins reminds us of this as well, that in order to get, you have to, in order to receive something, you need to be in the state of receiving. And I think that probably falls in line a lot more with the first reading, with it being pertaining to love, that you have to learn to receive in relationships. or the whole concept of receiving needs to be addressed in your relationships. So it could be that, like I said before, you're giving a lot, and maybe you're not getting because you're not very good at sitting down and actually receiving it. I mean, how do you feel about someone doing something nice for you? You've taken everything on your own shoulders with the Ten of Wands. Now, how do you feel about being someone, someone giving you everything and doing everything for you? How does that make you feel? You might need to address that. And then look to see if it's fair, is it right for you to feel uncomfortable? Is it fair? Is it because the person just wants something? Or is it just you just finding it hard to have someone else have control of the situation? Maybe you always being active and not being receptive gives you that sense of control. And then we've got 18, serendipity. So serendipity is self-explanatory, really. It's about being at the right place at the right time, things just falling into place as they should, all at the right time, in the right place, for the right reasons, and it's just positive all round, that kind of circumstance where things just fall into place. So yeah, again, and that also talks very much to the yin card, things just falling into place, allowing things to fall into place. So even though you will, by those things, be actively with the Seven of Swords, like, trying to figure out a way you could even be figuring out a way to get back to your partner, because you're fearing the Eight of Cups. So you could be trying to get back, and with the Six of Cups here, you could be trying, You could be trying to win them back with money and a promise of a bright future. You could be working hard to prove to that person that you are independent financially, and or vice versa. With the serendipity card here, though, it reminds us that things happen at the right time and that you can't always force things to happen. You can't force them to happen. Even if you are in complete control, you've got all the wands. Even if you are really clever and you do all the investigating that you need to do, sometimes in relationships, and in life generally, you've only got so much control, and the universe has got a higher plan, and you have to respect that and know that you don't know everything. And to have a bit of trust in the process. So yeah, if you have any questions, please do give me a shout, email me, leave a message. Sorry to just cut it short like that, but I don't really know what else I can add to it, but I could go on for another 20 minutes or more. But I think if you need any more clarity, just ask me some questions or book a reading. That'll probably be the best thing. All right, take care and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.